We are so excited to be back. We are in the Jet FM studios in downtown Courtenay. Hello, this is William Stringer.
And I'm Chef Jonathan Fraser. And today we're going to talk a little bit about chocolate and how we can make it into our food and make some really savory treats with chocolate.
Also, I'm going to talk to you about beef.
Welcome to the Edible Valley Podcast.
We want to invite you as we embark on a culinary journey through the heart of Vancouver Island
From the fertile fields,
to the pristine waters of the Pacific Ocean.
we'll explore the stories behind the food that nourishes us.
Tune in to each episode as we deep dive into the flavours, the traditions, and the innovations that make this a true paradise.
Now please join us as we explore our Edible Valley.
Well, good day to you. It is wonderful to have you on board, whatever you're doing, whatever you're up to. Thank you very much for lending us your ear. We've got lots to talk to you about today. Gian. I don't know why I call you Gian. Do you know the story of me calling you Gian? When I first met you, I thought maybe because you said you were raised on one of the islands.
Yeah.
Like Denman or something?
Well, Hornby Island.
Hornby.
But I mean, I grew up on Vancouver Island, right?
Right.
I was born and raised here on Vancouver
So
Island.
be proud of being
I'm
from
very
Hornby.
proud. I know
It's
how
a beautiful place.
I know how you put the sticker on the back of your car on a little bit of angle. So
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
Comox Valley points to the north, right?
Always.
So, yeah.
I thought, I bet you here, because, Hornby's quite hippie.
Oh, a little bit.
His parents, spelt John a different way. And it was like Geohn. That was my guess.
Yeah.
And they would say, no, it's not John, it's Gian. Or Gian. And so I just started calling you Gian. A little bit like Ian with a J.
Oh, yeah, I know.
And you were like, no, it's just John.
It's just John.
So anyway, Gian,
John.
how are you doing?
I am doing really, really well. Yeah. It's nice to be settling back.
Yep.
Getting things all moving together, being out in Port Alberni.
Yeah, in
I just had-
Porto Alberni.
Porto
It's like Porto
Alberni.
Vallarta, but
Gian.
Porto
We
Alberni.
do-
You've been in Port Alberni.
I've been in Port
That's
Alberni,
going well.
and it's great. My students we've just gotten out of all the theory end of it. We're getting into classrooms, so we're working on stocks and sauces and soups and all those things. So it's kind of exciting to actually see them pulling knives out and hot frying pans, and no one's getting hurt.
And
so
flourishing.
and we're getting some really good meals and some nice flavors together. So yeah.
Excellent. Now, I need to talk to you about flavours. So my wife was in Costco and she picked up the kilo of brie, the Kirkland kilo of brie for
Of course.
$5 or something ridiculous
Yeah.
like that. Well, that obviously means in a house of, 4, 2 of them being under 3 years old, you're just going to be eating brie all week, basically.
yeah.
It's not Christmas. It's not Easter. So I've been putting brie in everything, and I got some cooked brisket from the old farm market.
Ooh.
Delicious. #represent. Do it. And I put it into a sandwich with the beef and the brie. Unbelievable. Is that a thing?
Brie is good with everything.
Really is, isn't it?
Yeah, no, I had a great time with Natural Pastures.
Fine.
They gave me a bunch of cheese, some brie, because they had award-winning brie.
They
cheese.
do have award-winning brie.
Yeah. Anyways, I was like, oh, this stuff is so good, and it's so nice to see how they're making it with the milk from around here. Anyways, they gave me a bunch to come up with some recipes and play around with a little bit, and I had some great times. Got to work with some students up in Campbell River actually with that one, so that was a hoot. So brie is just such a fun one, and I mean, it can be just as simple as just fresh sliced brie on a cracker or a little bit of jam, toasted in the oven. Jam.
With something sweet. Well, mine is smoked brisket, and I called it William's smoked brisket sandwich. Boom, hashtag that's mine. Okay, if that's a new thing. That's mine, please. But anyway, enjoy that one. But the Comox Valley, this is the main news. The Comox Valley has been going chocolatey crazy the last month. This is a really exciting one. I'm aware of this for my work here at the Jet. So talk to me about it. It's everywhere in the valley, isn't it?
It's everywhere
Everyone's
right now.
involved.
Yeah, so it's all part of Comox Valley L'Arche Society, right? They are reaching out and they're having their big chocolate festival, the Comox Valley Chocolate Fest, over the month here. And they basically reaching out to all business and stuff like that to put together a nice chocolate treat for people.
Amazing.
You know, and
Now we should talk about L'Arche. Now they're raising money for adults and children and anyone with developmental issues. Am I right there?
Yeah, that's exactly
I cover quite a
it.
few charities, but I think that's the one.
Yeah.
So really, really very, very good charity there.
They're
Worthwhile
just
cause.
they're just willing to help out people with disabilities, right?
Yeah.
To give them a foot forward in the
Yeah.
world and let them
Let them
you know,
thrive.
Let them thrive. Exactly.
You know, we'll be a country of people that are fulfilling our potential
You know what?
individually.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
you know, giving them this opportunity is amazing. And you know what? They have a lot to provide our society, and I think that's amazing. That
And this is
they're
making
there
them
for us.
Well, there, and this is making them some real money, and it's a great initiative because who doesn't love chocolate? And it's
Exactly.
February. So the New Year's resolutions, they're long gone. They left, 5 days into January. It's February. Everyone's sick of the cold. It's not actually been too cold this year, to
No,
be
I
fair.
know.
We only had our first snow a few days ago, and it's already gone. But how exciting. So it sounds to me like so many, probably in excess of 50 businesses around the Comox Valley are making chocolate things.
And everyone's doing a little bit different. Like I think when they started, it was a lot of like hot chocolates, having all the coffee shops have a really nice sweet
Right.
hot chocolate. And because you know what, that's the way to warm up and feel
Yeah.
cozy at home right now.
Yeah.
So when I was approached with the North Vancouver Island Chefs Association, Culinary Association, because we like to be inclusive and let everyone in, right? You don't have to be a chef
Other
to be
than
a
me.
member. Anyways, what we wanted to do is just I was sort of like, well, they were like, can we do an event together? And I'm like, well, I'm trying to figure out something. And then I realized we do the farmers market.
right.
4 times a year, we do an event where we come in and we do a little bit of coaching, and we use the foods of the market to create dishes to sort of showcase all the amazing products and all the amazing flavors that you can get out of our community. And so super lucky that I was like, well, we've got one of those coming up in February that we need to do. I'm like, why don't we do, instead of doing sweet, we do savory chocolate.
Oh, what? Wait a minute. I just had to imagine that.
All of a sudden.
Yes.
Yeah. So then it sort of became those ideas and sort of thought, how can we pair with all these amazing foods of our Comox Valley and taste, and then have that essence of chocolate in the background?
So that's been your vibe at the Comox Valley Farmers Market.
Yes.
Great. In Native Sons Hall.
At Native Sense Hall.
And so you've been making things, and it has had a savoury vibe.
Everything had a savory vibe as we were going along there.
And what's
so.
the feedback been like?
It's been actually some great feedback. And I think a lot of people were kind of shocked to see how they always think of chocolate as being sweet, but they miss out on some of those nice little, like the bitter flavors, the dark richness of the chocolate. So those kind of tastes, that cocoa flavor of it. So that's what I really wanted to express with it. And I thought, you know what, like adding it into some of the dishes we were creating just worked, right? Yeah. And so let's go over some of the dishes I did.
Okay.
Well, and I can't say it was all me.
Vision this.
Because I had a bunch of other chefs with me. I'm not the only one there, but I was helping lead this. So first of all, and everyone, hopefully a lot of people have had this experience, but a chicken mole.
Okay.
Right? A very classic Mexican dish.
Yep.
Which is basically a nice stewed batch of chicken with a nice finish of chocolate hint, right? It's got a bit of spice. It's got a little kick to it, but it all just blends together, rolls off the tongue, and just is absolutely gorgeous. So we played around with that. So that was like just top notch and absolutely incredible. And then playing around with that. And then I was like, sort of reached out and tried to figure out some other things. So of course we have so many squash, like it's just coming to we had the fall. We're just coming to the end of it.
Yeah, we're using them up.
The bottom of the fridge, all those carrots and beets, all those rooty vegetables. And so just to spruce them up, and I've been really liking spice with a lot of those. So what we're doing is we did a bunch of roasted vegetables with a little bit of spice and then cook.
Oh, okay.
Right? To give you that kind of...
Does that bring like a bitterness?
Yeah, so it added a little bit of bitterness so that it kind of balances out with the sweetness of it.
Oh,
so
gorgeous.
We're just sort of adding that all together just to have all of those flavors created together, right? And so
I can't believe that it's even gone to like savouries and how the farmers market is taking part. I mean, I'm not surprised. They always take part in these things.
Yeah.
But what a good idea.
It was just a brilliant idea. Just the flavors came together really good. And we're like, let's use up what we have at this time. So playing with that, we did another squash dish. And this one kind of went to the next notch. This was Chef Leslie Stav. She brought this one to me, and she's been playing with us for a while. But of course, this time of year, radicchio is ridiculous, right? And I don't know, have you ever eaten radicchio before?
I think I have.
You know, it's that red sort of cabbage.
You know, can I be honest? I lied.
You're lying.
I don't know what that. Yeah, I was embarrassed.
No.
But no, I haven't.
Well, you probably have. You've probably had it mixed into a salad and not realized
That's
it,
true,
right?
yeah.
So I hate radicchio. It is bitter and sour. Never really has appealed to me, right? Until I started grilling it. And all of a sudden when you grill it and you get that little char bit on there, it just changes that.
Right.
It just gives you that extra little bite to it, right? So I was like, all right. So we charged some of the radicchio. So a nice hot pan, seared it off, got it nice, and we did it on a grill to get a few grill marks on there and make it look sexy. And then we made a mousse out of squash. So basically thickened up a squash with some egg yolks and then folded in some whipped cream, let it set up. So that was our base, some grilled radicchio on top of that. And then we had a nice white chocolate mousse just on top of that. And Beautiful. It was just like, boom.
White chocolate. Wow.
White chocolate. So just to add those different flavors and to say, hey, you know what? This is a salad that we're putting chocolate onto. And it just works so amazing. And this one you could do on the plate. A little bit of that squash on the bottom. And of course, it had that little bit of cinnamon, nutmeg, that sort of Christmas flavor to it. So we just had it all boiled together. And then, we just a little bit of the drizzle of the white chocolate over the top of it. You could do it with a nice citrus green salad, with just a light vinaigrette on the side. Oh, it would just perfectly match up.
So that's great. Well, good job. You can participate in this for the rest of this month. And I'm talking Cumberland Bakery, Church Street Bakery, Hot Chocolates. I think I saw Atlas's name on there. Locals, I think, is involved. I think pretty much everyone is getting on this year. If you go into any coffee shop, Milano's, you name it, you're going there and there'll be something up there for this. And a portion of what they make from that, of their profits, will go straight to L'Arche Comox Valley.
And it's
really great thing for
great
everyone.
Organization, and you know it's so nice to be able to support the people out there in our community and be a part in real food. Okay, so I got one last dish.
Oh go on.
This one was the showstopper.
Okay, go on.
So our good friend at Heavenly Libations, Jessica.
Okay,
she has a goat farm.
Okay,
I come in there every time I do one of these festivals. I always run into her. And now we've gotten to this point. She's like, I'm going to tell you what you're going to do this year. or she's like, what suggestion do you want? So she came to me the last one we did. I took some of her cranberry apple shrub with braised cabbage. Oh, amazing.
Really?
Absolutely. Braised cabbage with her apple cranberry shrub was absolutely incredible. It had the beautiful color to it, the sweetness and the bitterness that you want to do with that. So I was like, oh my God, like this is a hit. So this time I come up to her and she's like, well, what are we going to do? And I was like, I'm not 100% sure. I'm like, just feeling it out. She's like, well, can you use some goat? And I said,
whoa,
can
we do this?
Can we do this? And I was like, yeah, well, let me think about this. And I did a little walk around the thing. And then she comes back to me and she's like, what do you think about chocolate and anise? And I was like, we are on to something now.
Let's do this.
Right? So she gave me a whole bunch of lamb bones, goat bones. Brilliant. If you got a chance to get these at the market and you want to make a really good stock, brilliant.
Goat bones.
That's
a great tip. Okay.
Any time of bones, right? Yeah. If you want to start with a nice base for your food, getting these bones, roasting them in the oven, putting them in a pot full of cold water, ice cold water, and then bring them up to a simmer really slow and just let it cook for like 8 hours. Just on just a little bubble there. Just perfect, right? Roast some vegetables off, carrots, onions, celery, a little bit of red wine, throw those in about halfway through the cooking process. Perfect. Let that go, strain it out. Oh, heaven.
Let that go.
Oh, let that go. Anyways, all that nutrition from the bones, all that flavor, all that gelatin, all is going to get into your base, your stock right there. And I use that. And I sauteed some onions and some celery, seared off the goat meat really well, threw it all in there, let it cook for about 2 hours in the oven, wrapped really tight. And then, of course, brought it up to a simmer, took out my cinnamon, put a little cinnamon in there, of course, got my cloves of anise out of there, and then we threw in a little bit of chocolate at the end, and oh my God.
Really?
Just absolute heaven.
Really?
Everyone was talking.
What did everyone think about it?
Well, you know what? Here's the thing. People would see goat, and they'd be like, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
And I'd
Of
be
course.
like, just try it. And they'd be like, this is incredible. I had half the people were asking me just for that recipe alone. So
Really?
yeah. So
Good for you.
I think that was definitely the showstopper. So it's kind of fun to be able to work with those things.
Oh,
so.
I love it. I never know what I'm going to learn here. But I love the idea of mixing those things. When me and Eva were back in England for Christmas, me and Eva, we cook with maple syrup for everything. I mean, it's so cliche when the Canadian family come back, to England. But Canadian maple syrup is very expensive in England.
Oh,
and it comes from Canada. All of it comes from Canada.
It's
I
expensive
don't think
here,
you can
too.
buy maple syrup in England that's from England. So it was an expensive habit. I'm talking £10.50 for a tiny little bottle. And we would go through about 5 of them a month. We were there for 2 months. Oh! But it was the idea of trying to... Eva makes great sauces, and she puts a lot of maple syrup in there, but also they're very savoury. And it's the idea of convincing people that... imagine a line, and halfway along the line, there's a little dash. And on one side of it, everything's sweet. On the other side of it, everything's savoury. So you can have a sauce, which is the base is tahini or soy sauce, something like that. So it's really far into that savoury category. But then you add some maple syrup. That doesn't push it into the sweet side of the line. It just moves the dial towards that. But it's still savoury. That's when fireworks go off in your mouth. Trying to convince, my father, a bunch of derogatory things came up in my head then that I didn't say. My father to do it. Where in the end we just lied to him and said, no, we didn't put any maple syrup in there. Well, Phil Stringer, you had a lot of maple syrup on that trip. So thank you. That's a really good lesson to learn. Chocolate and goat. Who would have thunk it?
Can I say I put a lot of nutmeg in my dad's food, so that's just my payback because he hates it. So
what do we feed our parents without them knowing? Future podcast. Hey, I want to tell you, we've got Steve-O. Steve from Edible Island, the owner of Edible Island. What's his last name?
Oh, you're the one who worked with him.
Yeah, all right.
You worked for him.
I did.
That was
love Steve.
Your COVID days with him, right?
Yeah, he is so much fun. And if you haven't seen his YouTube channel, look at Edible Island Whole Foods Market on YouTube.
Oh, yeah,
They put a lot into that. And he's really funny and playful. He's a great guy to work for. I worked for him during the pandemic, and we had a lot of fun for that pandemic. I mean, it was serious times, but it was actually... a lot of fun with the team there. And, I've persuaded him to come onto this podcast.
It's about time.
Yes.
Sorry, Steve.
So listen out for Steve-O. He's going to be on here soon. He is really, really funny. So look out for that. And we can't wait to see you again very soon. Thank you so much for listening.
Yeah. I've got another interview coming up, too.
Okay.
It's one of Aaron's, actually.
Okay.
From Monterey Bay.
Oh, okay.
Down in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Down there. Sorry, outside of San Francisco. Anyways, she got to do a little conversation with them because they're the ones that gave all the research and all the documentation. They did all the background for Oceanwise program.
Wow.
So they used all of their research that they'd done on fishing to basically decide what was sustainable and what was not. So it's super interesting. And it's an amazing conversation because they're really like, who changes the food? Changes the habits of people eating? It's chefs. Yeah. And that Oceanwise is a thing now because of chefs and because they've made the effort to be like, let's cook good food.
Yeah.
So
it all comes from that.
So
Erin's going to be the next one up then. Fantastic. And we'll be back in a fortnight as usual. Thank you so much for joining us. Please connect with our socials. We're on there more and more. And, I'm really happy to say, I don't know if we can say this, but the podcast is growing.
It's growing.
We're
100%.
actually having more downloads every month, more people. And, it really does make us so happy. It warms our hearts up. So thank you so much. We don't make a dicky dime for doing this show. We just turn up. And
have some fun
and have some fun
and make some friends.
It's worth it and make some friends. So honestly, I'm not just saying that. We're really grateful for you listening. So thank you very much. Have a good one, and we'll see you into March as we head on fearlessly into the meteorological springtime. Have a good one.
Have a good one.
Cheers now. Bye.